Hey, yo, I want to talk about value boosters. But before I do, a little bit of housekeeping because I think it's important to get this out of the way. Hey you! Yeah, you. You saw the thumbnail, you clicked it, you know what this video is about. So if you're thinking of typing in the comments any variation of, "Oh Red, all of your videos are so negative, why is every magic YouTuber nothing but negative?" then I've got good news for you, because that's actually a you problem. You see, YouTube's algorithm is trained off of the types of videos that you like to watch. If you watch a bunch of one type of video, it will recommend more of that type of video to you. I don't have a negativity issue with YouTube myself because I don't choose to exclusively watch negative content. If you do, and you're sick of it, then go and check out some positive videos. I guarantee that any Magic the Gathering YouTuber covering the game does so because they love it, and they will have videos where they express that love in a positive manner. For me, why not check out one of my theory crafting videos where I design my own products? As you can see, this one is all about Star Trek. Or check out one of my videos where I play Magic in an unusual way. In this video I mash up Magic with the Pokemon TCG into a playable format. And in this one I turn the Fallout Commander sets into a sort of solo RPG. Also, once a month I run a quiz. There's already a few episodes out for it and I think it's tough, but it's a fun time. Links to all of those in the description below. And for my own curiosity, the second thing I want to mention is, I plan on this being this video's thumbnail. When I reference this video going forward, it's this thumbnail I'll display. I wonder if I got away with this or if I had to change it for some reason. If it is now changed but you got to see the original, let me know in the comments below. I guess time will tell. Now, back to value boosters. And I am going to get negative, because I became enraged when I saw them announced. It was due to this post, "What is a Bloomburrow value booster?" And while I saw a lot of other Magic commentators covering the announcement, I decided to wait. Because, well, you know what, let me show you. What is a Bloomburrow value booster? A good question, let's see. So we have a bit of intro fluff text above an image of the product, but that hasn't really answered the question yet. So we scroll down and we see, and that's it. That's the whole announcement. Like what, 93 words in total? Not a lot there to go on, but there are some important bits, so let's read through. At select retailers, you may see a new kind of booster available. Okay, that's already important. It's not for every store. You won't see these in your LGS, unless they prove popular, of course. But instead in your Targets or your Walmarts, I think? Or for us Brits, they'll be in a Tesco or an Asda. While collector boosters are perfect for fans who want all the coolest cards, I mean, I disagree. Seems like the target market for collector boosters is resellers, but okay. And play boosters are built to bolster collections by being opened to play Magic. Wait, what? Play boosters aren't meant to be played with, but to bolster collections via being played with? Huh? Whatever. Value boosters are a smaller, lighter booster that contain a handful of new cards any fan can enjoy. So basically filling the niche that draft boosters used to, and plugging the gap in the market that their discontinuation left behind. A budget-friendly way to experience Bloomburrow. Translation. Because we've steadily increased the cost of the game across the board, and we've begun to realise that pricing players out of Magic is killing off interest from veteran, new, and casual players brought in by Universes Beyond, who once would have been returning customers but are now put off by the high prices. Each value booster contains 3 commons, 2 uncommons, 1 wild card of any rarity, and 1 card that may be a land, traditional foil, or special guest card. So, not including the land, yet another 7-card non-draftable pack like Epilogue boosters and Beyond boosters, but this time with no guaranteed rare and no information about the percentage of rares in those wildcard slots either. Fuck you! So, the reason I didn't cover this immediately was because I felt we were missing vital information. For starters, cost. How much are these? If I had to guess, probably the same price as what draft boosters used to sell for. They know people used to be happy to pay that price, and I believe that WotC think that people will pay it again without consideration for why people were happy to pay the price that draft boosters used to sell for. They won't think about the fact that people bought those packs to play draft. They won't care that people want some perceived value in the form of a guaranteed rare when they open a pack. They don't care that people were paying for a pack of 15 cards to, how did they phrase it? Bolster collections? No, they'll just see a price point where they used to make sales and now don't. But they couldn't possibly bring back a 15-card draftable pack at that price because they've simply decided that cardboard should cost more. But hey, maybe I'm wrong and these packs will be £1 or $1. And let's face it, that's all they're going to be worth. 7 commons or uncommons and no rares. The commons are what most people call draft chaff. Have you ever watched a pack opening video? You know how most people skip past the commons and uncommons to just show the rares? That's because those people are interested in the resellable, valuable part of the pack. Without the rares and the mythics, these value boosters have no value in them. And yeah, some packs will have rares, but did you notice how the percentages of how often rares will appear in the wildcard slots was absent from the post? These packs are already in production. That is a statistic that they'll know by now. Curious that they chose not to mention it here. Also, these packs aren't playable. A budget-friendly way to experience Bloomburrow? What do you fucking mean? Experience it how? Are these cards fucking edible or something? What, are people expected to just hold up the cards and look at them? Is this a product for babies and value boosters are Magic's equivalent of some jangly keys? Fuck you. And, hey, when I say that, you guys know that I'm not aiming that at you, right? I realise I directly addressed you earlier, but the rest of the time when I'm swearing, I'm not aiming it at you guys, but at the suits puppeting Watsy's corpse around. Actually, on the topic of how sweary this video is, I suspect YouTube will bury it, so if you're seeing this and would like to support me, come check out my Patreon. I have many tiers with many rewards, but I also have one for £1, which is about $1.50 I think, and it gets your name credited on screen at the end of my videos. Your name won't be huge, but it will be there. The catch for this low cost is that I'm limiting it to only 1,000 people. So if you want to support me, you want to see your name credited on screen, and £1 or $1.50 doesn't break the bank, then come join me on the Moonbase, link in the description below. Another piece of information left out of this announcement was where it was going to be sold, and why not everywhere? It says at select retailers, but what specifically does that mean? And if these value boosters aren't a ripoff, surely everyone in the Magic community would want them, right? Or do Watsy know that they aren't worth whatever cost it is that they're being sold for? There certainly seems to be an implication here that they know that informed Magic players won't want these. So who is the target then? If I had to guess, I'd say it was our mums and dads, our grandparents or our partners, our little brothers and sisters, our children. People who aren't as informed as consumers about Magic, but that care about us and know that we care about this game, so may choose to buy something that they think that we'd like. If I'm right, that makes this incredibly sinister. It's a pack of nothing, and Watsy know it, otherwise they'd sell it everywhere. And it's seemingly aimed at tricking people who care about us into parting with their money because they don't know any better as they're unfamiliar with the game. You can't play with these packs. With rares and mythics limited to a wildcard slot, collecting the set will be nigh impossible. And because it's all commons and uncommons, resale value will be non-existent too. So the people that do end up buying these, not truly understanding what they are, have been taken advantage of. And that's seemingly the only people that will buy these because that's who they're targeted at. So I didn't cover this announcement when it first dropped because we didn't have all the information. I waited in the hopes that they'd tell us more. But as of time of writing the script for this episode, they haven't. And quite frankly, I don't want to wait anymore. Bloomburrow is about to drop. These packs are about to go on sale and it's important to sound the alarm. It's important for all of us to add our voices to the discourse. So hear me when I say, do not buy Bloomburrow value boosters. Tell anyone you know that has even the slightest chance of doing so, do not buy Bloomburrow value boosters. If someone buys you one of those, do not open it, return it and get a refund, because you should not support the sale of Bloomburrow value boosters. They are a pack of nothing, and worse, I believe they are predatory. And now, let me introduce you to Mark Rosewater. He's a man I respect, and the head designer for Magic the Gathering. Which is wild really when you consider how much interaction he has with the community. But you know what really fucks me off? Something he said in this announcement. What are play boosters? About why draft boosters had to be discontinued. If you're brand new to the game and don't know what a draft booster is, I did this video covering the whole thing, linked in the description. But in short, before play boosters, we had draft boosters, which were 15 cards in a pack designed to be played with in a draft. And then they introduced set boosters, which cost twice as much, had more rares per pack, but contained less cards and weren't designed to be played within a draft. At the time that set boosters were introduced, my fear was that they were a replacement for draft boosters at double the cost, especially as it seemed that Watsy were limiting the availability of draft packs and making set boosters the only choice for many places. For instance, the draft and pre-release prizes at my LGS changed from draft boosters to set boosters, which was wild to me because those packs couldn't be played in the format that we'd won them in. But the store had no choice because set boosters were all they could get. And later, my fears were proven pretty much correct, as both draft and set packs were scrapped in favour of play boosters. A draftable pack, but with less cards than draft boosters had, and with the higher price point of set boosters. So really, play boosters were a draftable replacement for set boosters. And replacing the lower costed draft boosters was nothing. If you wanted to play Magic, your only option was now the more expensive play booster. Double the price per pack for less than half the cards you used to get at the same price point. Because where a tenner used to get you 30 cards, now it only got you 14. And obviously this was just a price hike. He just wanted to gouge their players for more money. But what reason did Mark Rosewater give at the time as to why draft boosters had to be replaced? Well, let's look at that announcement that he made again. It's a long read with many explanations, but the bits I said fucked me off were: Problem 2. It caused inventory problems. This is a bit simplified, but here's how a store manages Magic product. If for some reason they don't sell all of a product, it gets stuck in their inventory, meaning it isn't converted into money to buy the next product. If that happens enough, it causes huge problems for stores. Once upon a time, a store just had one booster to buy for any one Magic set, so that's what they bought. Now, every set releases with both set and draft boosters. And then, Problem 3. It began the abandonment of draft boosters. Having two different types of boosters was causing strain. And then, Problem 4. It causes confusions in the marketplace. Having two things that are similar but not quite the same causes several issues. Having two types of regular booster means we have to communicate twice as much information about how each booster is put together and what's in it. Right, okay, draft boosters can't exist because having two types of booster is confusing. So now, things are simple, and we just have play boosters. Oh, and collector boosters. And those beyond boosters. And whatever's happening with those foundation packs, which are standard legal for at least 5 years. Which is obviously different from packs normally printed for standard, whose contents obviously vary from set to set. Which is different again from premium packs not printed for standard. Then there's new Jumpstart packs coming, which is its own thing, but different from Annex sets, which aren't the same but are also their own thing. Which won't matter to you if you just want to play Commander, because then you just need a precon. Unless there's a draftable Commander set, of course. And should we throw Secret Lair onto this list as well? Sure, why not? So yeah, the cheaper draft boosters have to go away because all of these higher priced products have to exist. We can't have a cheaper entry level booster because one more type of product on that list would be too confusing. I'll fucking wait. So why can't this product be draft boosters again exactly? Mark Rosewater has a blog where he answers questions from players and addresses feedback. Shall we see what's been said about value boosters over there? Hey Mark, just wanted to say that the news about the new value boosters feels like a kick in the teeth. When you tell me that I can't play draft at the price point I could afford before because they were too niche to sell, and then follow that up by releasing a new niche pack type, I can't help but feel betrayed. To which Mr. Rosewater said, Not enough players wanted to buy draft boosters. A situation I believe WotC manufactured by limiting the availability of draft boosters. Before set boosters were pushed the way that they were, people didn't seem to have an issue buying draft boosters then, but do go on. The value booster is an attempt to solve a completely different problem. There are a lot of stores that want a lower priced Magic booster option, so we're experimenting with something for them. Well, we know you can sell a 15-card draft pack for cheaper. You used to do it. Why not experiment with that again? The two boosters are quite different from one another and serve very different audiences. Yeah, one seems to be targeting people that don't know any better. Here's another question. People aren't understanding what a value booster is. It's a low price point impulse buy for grocery stores or pharmacies or toy aisles. Yeah, and explain to me how that's a good thing? These are more in the vein of, saved my treat money from lunch to buy boosters, and decided to buy a pack instead of my usual candy bar, opened a $4 uncommon. To which Mark says, correct. So first off, gross that we've openly acknowledged taking advantage of impulse purchases here. And second, how many $4 uncommons get printed? How many $4 uncommons are in standard right now? How many $4 uncommons in the last 10 years? Go look, it's not many. Why not support a draft format using value boosters, asks someone, to which Mr. Rosewater says, the places they'll be sold and the places that drafts happen have little overlap. Because again, the target is people who don't play or know any better. It's not for you, because WotC are already taking advantage of you with the cost of play boosters. Now they want to take advantage of everyone else too, fuck me. I really don't understand WotC sometimes, someone says. To which Mark replies, the value booster is for a very narrow type of store. Most players will never see it. Most players will never see it. If it's not for the people that play the game, who is it for then? This is so blatant. Someone asks, why now add value boosters? To which Mark says, certain stores were interested in having a lower priced Magic booster. Now we get to it. Big box stores like your Walmarts could see the constant price hikes happening and weren't interested anymore. Now it's starting to make sense. The regular player base are like frogs, slowly being boiled in water, not noticing the changes over time. But the big Tesco where your mum does her weekly shop doesn't play Magic the Gathering, and all they see is crazy expensive cardboard most people wouldn't buy unless tricked into it. Hey Mark, why was it decided to remove the draft and the set booster because of confusion amongst them, but putting value booster is better? To which Mr. Rosewater replies, you're conflating the two things that have nothing to do with one another. Oh well, silly us, we must be thick. Value boosters are addressing a need of certain mass market stores to have a magic booster at a lower price point. They are not a product that the vast majority of enfranchised players will ever interact with, and their existence has nothing to do with organised play. Jesus Christ, we're introducing a caste system into the game. Magic the Social Gathering divided by class, but don't worry guys, we're not taking advantage of you this time. These cards aren't to be played with, only sold. Fuck you! Why don't the value boosters guarantee a rare? To which Mr. Rosewater says, the point of the booster pack is to be a low-cost alternative. Having rares show up in some boosters was how we were able to do that. Sorry, run that by me again? Do rares and mythics get printed on solid gold? I'm so sick of this idea that rares and mythics are inherently more expensive. What are you fucking talking about? It's the same cardboard, the production cost is the same. Or is it, perhaps, just maybe, that you're fully aware that rares and mythics tend to sell for more on the secondary market? And so you think that including more rares in a pack means you can bump the price up due to players having a higher chance of getting their money back. But you can't openly admit that because of certain global gambling laws. You want to be seen as selling a fun children's card game and not physical loot boxes. But you do want to price boosters like they are physical loot boxes, charging more for packs with higher pull rates of money cards. But you've made your entry cost to start gambling too high, and now casuals aren't doing it, so you're going to give them a product with worse odds in places where they're likely to make an impulse purchase without time to fully consider it or become fully informed about what they're doing. A booster slot machine for beginners, is that it? Or get them while they're vulnerable to impulse purchases? Is that the mentality? Because it certainly seems that way to me. So yeah, fuck Bloomburrow value boosters, and fuck this corporate predatory mindset that seems to have taken hold of that company. Like Mark says, this product won't affect most of us, but it will affect those that we love. And they're talking to us like we're stupid, like we don't understand and see what's going on. So, you know, as much as I respect you, Mr. Rosewater, fuck you too. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching this video, and thank you to everyone that supports me, like James Diamond, Eggboy the Particle that permeates all existence, and the rest of my patrons whose names are on screen now. I'd also like to thank the sponsor for this video, me on my Patreon page, where you can get your name credited on screen too. Because let's face it, no one else would sponsor a video like this. Check it out in the link in the description below. Hit the like button, leave a comment, install an ad block, most importantly subscribe and share this video with a friend because the algorithm isn't going to do it. Hit the notification bell and do all those things the algorithm loves. If you agree or disagree with any of my points, or you want to see me do a video on another subject, let me know and I will see you next time. I'm never getting a preview card, am I?